So, in honor of the spooky season, I decided to do a ghost type only run of Pokemon Emerald Rogue. I started with a Honedge, and the first Pokemon that I caught was a Frillish that I named Pringles, because, well, look at him. I then caught a Sandygast that I named Shovel. I also found a Pumpkaboo that I named Ump. I then gave her a link cable and then leveled her up once so that way she'd evolve into a Gourgeist. I went down a spooky route, which ironically only had one ghost type, being Dreepy, which I caught and named Air Force. Because if you ask me, when you look at this, and then look at this, it's the exact same thing. And now it's time for a selling spree, baby. I then loaded my Pokemon with drugs, I mean performance enhancing supplements. And here is the first gym leader, which luckily was poison, and Shovel was able to clean sweep this with the help of some fresh waters, but that's neither here nor there. All that matters is that we got the win, nobody died, and that is Gym Badge 1 acquired. Went down a path and found every e-girl's favorite Pokemon, Mimikyu, which I caught and decided to name Ragdoll. I battled the experience lady so that way the entire team would be up to speed with the level cap, and fought the gym leader, which happened to be Flannery, the fire type one, and so I just had Pringles clean sweep everything. And that is Gym Badge 2 acquired. And here we have Selling Spree Part 2. Let's go. It never ends. I then taught Pringles Shockwave and Surf to give them some strong moves. I then had a double Evo with Bloodborne. I then challenged the third gym leader, which happened to be Rock, which I thought that Pringles would be able to clean sweep, but they got a little too low on HP for my liking, so I tried to swap to Shovel, who sadly fainted, so I had to swap to Bloodborne to get the kill. On the bright side, that's Gym Badge 3. We're really flying through this thing, aren't we? The Selling Spree Part 3. Oh my god, this is never going to end. I had Pringles evolve into a Jellicent, and then I challenged the fourth gym leader, which was actually the Steel-type gym leader. I had Bloodborne deal good damage to her Aegislash and then kill her Poniard, but sadly Bloodborne went down to a discharge from her Magnezone. I then sent out Ump, who was able to pretty much obliterate everything she had left. And that's Gym Badge 4 obtained. Halfway through. I caught a female Frillish that I named Miss Chips, aka Pringle's wife. Both Air Force and Miss Chips evolved. After battling the Experience Lady, I challenged the fifth gym leader, which just so happened to be Whitney. So I had Ragdoll stack up a bunch of Hone Claws and mop the floor with her entire team after having to heal a bunch from Komala of all Pokemon. Weird, but that certainly is one way to get the fifth gym badge. After our monumental victory, I decided to run around in the forest for a little bit, and I found a Doublade that I caught and named Katana. I knocked out a random Teacup, and Air Force evolved into a Jet. I went out of my way to battle this lady just so that way I could get a legendary encounter, hoping that it's one of the many ghost-type legendaries, only for it to be a Heatran. Another goddamn selling spree. After that bullcrap, I was lucky enough to find a Dusk Stone that I could give to Katanas so that way she could become an Aegislash. Moving on towards another gym leader, this one just happened to be a Psychic-type gym leader. And I'm pretty sure you can guess what I did. That's right, Hone Claws and Sweep, baby! And that was the easiest 6th gym badge of my life. Back-to-back gym battles here, and this one was also ridiculously easy, with Pringles and Ump being the absolute MVPs of this battle. Ump doing a little less than he normally would because he was brought in as a pivot to help save Pringles, but he also was able to take down Cloyster. And that is the 7th treat in our little trick-or-treating spree. I decided to stock up the boys with muscle bands and wide glasses accurately equipped for each one's highest stat and or moveset. This next gym battle wasn't as easy, facing the flying type gym leader Winona. At first, Pringles was able to hold his own up against Pokemon like Thundurus and Drifblim, but then he went down to a Dark Pulse. So I sent out Miss Chips to get a couple kills in and get a burn on Moltres, but then Miss Chips gets confused and goes down to a Hurricane from a Galarian Moltres. So I swap out Air Force, who is able to sweep the rest of Winona's Pokemon with relative ease.
Oh, baby, a triple! Oh, yeah!
And that is the last gym badge necessary for the challenge. Now we just have to beat the Elite Four and Champion. I visit a Poke Lab to get one of my Pokemon back, and I decide to take Bloodborne. And here is the first Elite Four member being Sydney. Sydney being a Dark type, there's only one thing to do. Ragdoll, Hone Claw, Strat, that's right. Just gonna play rough everything. We did get pretty low thanks to a Poison Dark type, but that is the first Elite Four member down. Up next is the Dragon type Elite Four member Drake, in which Ragdoll is able to take down his Salamence, but then that is it. We have to swap to Air Force, who kills everything on his team with ease.
What are you talking about? That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
And that is the second Elite Four member down. 2 left. And for all you Ragdoll stands, there's no need to mourn because we get him back immediately. Up next is the Fighting type Elite Four member Bruno, which went exactly as you'd think, as we just got Ragdoll back. And with Bruno's defeat in our book, that makes for the third Elite Four member down. And now it's time to face the last Elite Four member in Agatha, which, yet again, went exactly as you'd think, thanks to Ragdoll. But there was a point at which we had to swap to Ump to get some Shadow Ball kills. And thanks to the Ump Ragdoll combo, that is the fourth and final Elite Four badge. A quick sell spree. And now it is time to face Wallace. Ragdoll is the lead, and he was able to get a comfortable 3 kills on the board, but thanks to being at such low HP, I did swap out to Bloodborne to take care of the Primarina and the Samurott, but he does go down to a Hydro Pump, so I had to swap out to Katanas to get the kill. And with that, that is the champion taken down, but there is one more challenge. In Pokemon Emerald Rogue, there is a final boss after the champion that's way harder that you have to beat in order to actually complete the challenge. We, just like with Ragdoll, immediately get Bloodborne back. We then have to battle a strong champion, being Wally, but thanks to Ragdoll and his amazing strength and speed, it wasn't really much of a challenge. And this is it. If you've made it this far, why not click that subscribe button? I mean, like, you did watch almost the whole video, so, I mean, like, it'd be worth your time if you like it. Anywho, the last champion is Steven. Steven sends out a Necrozma, and I send out Ragdoll, and I didn't read and see that Shadow Claw was the super effective move, so I was kind of just picking random moves. But after we take down the Necrozma, we Drain Punch the Stack Attacka and immediately go down to Melmetal. So I swap out to Katanas to set up a bunch of Sword Stance and kill with a Sacred Sword against not only Melmetal, but also Heatran. Katanas then goes down to a Zap Cannon, so I send out Air Force to absolutely obliterate all the other Pokemon that Steven had left. And with that, Here is your Ghost-type team champion with Ragdoll the Mimikyu, Ump the Gorgeist, Katanas and Bloodborne the Aegislashes, and Air Force the Dragapult. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had an amazing Halloween, and or you are having an amazing Halloween, depending on what time it is and when you're watching this. And yeah, I will see you next video. Peace. And just for you who think this might have been faked, here is your proof that I got the Ghost Master achievement. Real quick, before y'all leave, I just want to let you know that I'm going to be at Twin Cities Con. Not as like a featured creator or anything, but just as a person who's going there to have some fun. Here is my lineup, and I hope to meet you there. But yeah, that'll be it. I'll see you somewhere sometime. Peace.